Hey there, it's David from Collect All Monsters here with my friend, fellow collector and fellow Seattleite, Mr. Andy Peters. How's it going, Andy?
Going well. How are you, David?
Good. Thank you for welcoming me into the Kaiju Cave.
With two Ks.
With two Ks, yes. I made
there
that
is
mistake
already
before.
a
Yes,
seek,
I know. So anyway, I wanted to jump right in with some questions in this third installment of Get to Know Your Fellow Collector series.
I'll be your fellow collector.
Yeah, you will. Now, these segments are going to be a bit more structured than the last two. So you are going to be the prototype for a set of questions that we're going to be asking people from this point on. So let's jump right in, and you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm Andy Peters. You might have seen me. I'm a lover of the finer things, nature, spicy food, beer. You might hear me saying things like cornboard or toilet paper Gary, but most people know me as the Hedorah guy, or Mr. Hedorah, or that son of a bitch who keeps buying all of those Hedorahs and posting them, and then now everyone's buying them, and now they're loaded up my feed with Hedorah. That guy, that's me.
And may I add one more thing?
Sure.
In my opinion, and in my eyes, you are the guy who has the most dope collection of in-scale buildings.
N-scale buildings, yes.
In-scale. Okay, sorry, you say potato, I say potato. Anyway, yes, it's a crazy cool setup, and I've never seen anything like it.
It's a curated plethora of goodness.
I've never seen.
Let's face it, it's madness personified. It is literally, David, my mind whacked up on all of these walls. It's like the zero room. You sit in it and you basically, your mind just... It's really a one person at a time thing if I charged.
Yeah. You might want to consider that.
Yeah, just sit in the chair and just go, dear God, dear God, dear God, dear God. And then halfway through you go, how much did this...
So anyway, what is your very first Godzilla kaiju film or television show that got you started in all of this madness?
That's easy. I have to admit, I was a fraidy cat as a child. And my dad told me that Godzilla was scary, and the movies were scary, and I would be frightened, and I wouldn't even go on a roller coaster. Milquetoast, let's call it. But it was Son of Godzilla. And because that just seemed, what could go wrong, you know? And then, of course, there are giant praying mantises and giant spiders, which, to my mind, by the way, are some of the best kaiju ever featured in any of those films. They're puppets, and they are fantastic.
I have to agree. And Kumonga is probably one of the scariest kaiju in any Godzilla film.
Right. It's just that my mind was able to link it up to puppetry, so I wasn't like, because I was watching Thunderbirds. Hey, so basically anything with smaller sets built. I like things that are big and elaborate that you have now made small.
Perfect.
That's the thing.
Perfect. So let's move on to your very first kaiju collectible that got you started on this crazy journey of collecting.
Well, to be honest, this is where it gets a bit controversial, and people go, when are you going to G-Fest? When are you going to G-Fest? Well, the problem is, I love Godzilla. Don't get me wrong. I love the villains more. I love King Ghidorah more than Godzilla. Ooh! I love Hedorah more than Godzilla. Oh. But in reality, it was not exactly the road. I was into Star Wars, folks. So if you gave me a Godzilla figure when I was a kid, I'd go, that's cool. Where's the Millennium Falcon? And then after that, it was Garfield. I admit it. I'm going to admit it to you now. It was the cat, Garfield. The whole room like this. But in reality, you would have handed me a Godzilla figure. I would have said, where's the Garfield? So really, my first one was my dad knew for a fact that I was in love with this guy, Hedorah. And he was thumbing through, what's that horrible magazine for that shop that does the the one you all know, Entertainment Earth. And he saw the giant reissue Hedorah figure, and he was like, oh, that's ridiculous. My son will love that. And then he sent it to me, and of course I opened, I'm like, what is Hedorah? Whoa. Ooh, and I set it down. It's not the figure I have, by the way. This is a little bit of a story. Set it down, and I went, how much did he pay for this? And I looked, and I went, dude, It's just my birthday. It's, I didn't win the lottery here. So I had him return it. But you know what happened, folks? I went, sure missed that big Hedorah. So I started buying SH Monster Arts. Next thing you know, I needed that Hedorah back. Next thing you know, I'm buying a lot of X+. A lot of X+. Boom, 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 boom. SH Monster Arts became a big display, which was the first sort of kaiju diorama, which now unfortunately is defunct. But then it became all of this. And then I went, yeah. And saw a Geo Davis picture, which will probably be the next question.
Yeah. Well, actually, I just wanted to elaborate a little bit because myself, I've actually sold things that I've regretted and bought them back again. So
right. Mine was the first. I regret.
Oh, your fur. Okay.
Yeah,
wow.
he sent
wow.
it to me.
Yeah.
I went, and then it was so big and it just looked so expensive. And so I had him send it back. And within 2 weeks, I was going.
2 weeks. Okay. So you didn't waste any time getting that sucker back.
And I bought the Rick with the light up immediately
Nice.
as fast as I could.
Nice. So let's move on to, this is like, I think pretty much everybody will know the answer to this question. Your very favorite Godzilla film.
My very favorite Godzilla film is anything with Ghidorah in it. That's right! I don't even like Hedorah the most!
Didn't you mean Hedorah, not Gedorah?
I'm telling you.
I can't believe I pronounced it that way.
I know.
That's a shame.
That's a
it's
joke.
Hedorah.
That's a fabulous joke. And literally, to me, that's the film that grew on me. Like, I mean, something about the three heads of Ghidorah will always be where I'm at. That image of...
Yep. I must agree with you. Ghidorah is my favorite kaiju besides Godzilla.
See, because Godzilla is different every time. How can you say blanket statement, I love a Godzilla more than everybody else? Well, he's a jerk in some, he looks like an idiot in some, and in others, he's like a kingpin. He's like 1,000 characters. He's like Doctor Who, for Christ's sake.
He is like Doctor Who. James Bond, Doctor Who, all rolled up in
So
one.
it is the king, yes. As you can clearly...
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. That actually will surprise a lot of the viewers, I'm sure.
And confuse.
Surprise and confuse. Hey, that's what you're all about, man.
Well, in reality,
surprising and confusing.
The film Hedorah, he's a punk icon. He wants to wipe out all of humanity because you done polluted the earth. And to be honest, that's exactly where I'm at. We're kind of a scourge. And so he's the perfect character to love and love and love and love. Infinity.
What's interesting, I don't know if you noticed, I posted an image of the animated sequence in Godzilla versus the Smog Monster.
Right.
Where they're using the gas masks. And it's kind of like, I don't want to say ironic, but it's interesting, at least, that this is the reality that we're facing today.
Yeah.
And it looks like...
Hedorah needs to come down and take care of some fools.
Yeah.
And to be honest, and this is also going to shock a few people who are not in my group, the Hedorah Fanatics Club.
On Facebook.
I'm going to show my shirt.
Oh.
That's right, y'all.
There
The Hedorah Fanatics Club. I also founded the Kaiju Kit Builders Club, surprisingly, and the Kaiju Diorama Club.
Nice.
But
nice.
Hedorah is where I'm at.
Nice.
But as everyone knows from that club, I hate Godzilla in that movie. I call him the Bloody Iguana. Because he comes in with clown music. I always pretend that Hedorah was in the film. He was doing the film. And then somebody gave him a call and said, yeah, the footage isn't working out. We're going to need to work that gorilla in. Could you get the lizard at least? All right, we're going to do the lizard. And he shows up at the craft service table, oh, this is my movie now. And it gets top billing when it was clearly they filmed half of it. And then,
it's a little bit of a departure from the Ifukube themes.
Might I add, Hedorah almost murders that guy. And if it weren't for those meddling kids and their electric fences...
And their oxygen bombs.
And notice it's the government and the military helping him out because, they know that Hedorah he's right.
Yes. Well, I have to say that it is one of my favorites in the series. I watched it recently, the newly released Criterion Collection.
It's crisp.
It's a crisp print, and it's a really interesting movie. Whatever you feel about... how Godzilla is depicted. The movie is definitely a departure for the series.
Oh, yeah.
And
a big departure.
It's a classic. And, Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. So anyway, let's move right on to your favorite 3 figures that you currently own in your collection.
Oof.
The first 3 that pop into your head. Don't think about it too much.
I just like the glitter, man. Now I'm all about the glitter. But if we're really talking about the best, it's going to be this dude. The best, I don't even have to go with 3, David. The Marmot. Marmot, by the way, make mine Marmot. Classic early 2000s Marmot, to me, is like, and everyone else is trying. Because this is the glow-in-the-dark, guts, gray, and glitter, clear Hedorah. They couldn't add any more.
Yeah,
you could throw tinsel in the arms, but it's already got glitter. It's literally the finest piece.
You can hold that for the rest of the interview. That'd be cool. Yeah, he's beautiful.
Absolutely. Oh no! Remember, David, I don't play with my toys.
Oh right. Okay.
They are literally. That's the weird thing about me. Another thing that freaks people out. I don't play with these things. It goes right exactly where it goes. I put it in. I think about it. I lean back. Then I look in. Then I lean back. Then I look in. Over and over until it's all equidistant, and there it stays.
I must say, scanning this room, the cave, it's a very impressively curated collection.
It's supposed to be curated within an inch of its life, to where you're supposed to basically just sit in there, which is what I do, and just duh.
Now, here's a question that I ask myself quite often.
Sure.
Do you ever sit in here, in all seriousness, and wonder when will enough be enough, and what have I gotten myself into?
Oh my God, my wife loves this because you've seen this room. It is packed, David. Packed. So it's beyond the one in, one out that you're doing. Literally, I have that space there. This thing is in flux.
Let me give a whole pan around real quick, so we'll get checked out. Keep talking.
I don't have any room, and I cannot physically, mentally, spiritually put one figure behind another figure, unless it is elevated or staggered in some way. So, because I'm like an anti-hoarder that hoards.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. You've seen my collection.
Yeah, but you do things where it's...
and I'm not feeling that anymore because I have to constantly sort of, put certain figures to the front so they can be showcased but I need to definitely do some thinning out. But it's not about me today, it's about you. So let's move on to
you too. People have seen it. You're a host of the show that we're watching.
That's correct.
So it is fair to bring you into it.
That's true.
The way that you do it is very curated too. But again, light hoarding.
That's correct. Well, thank you for that.
I'm just saying.
Anyway, let's talk about a Grail figure that you're currently seeking at the moment.
Okay. See if again, Jimmy doesn't reveal his secrets. Okay, let me just put it this way. There is a figure that isn't really a figure, okay? There is a fabric Hedorah out there, designed in the style of Vivienne Westwood, literally 30 centimeters high, and his zipper eyes, some tartan, some punk elements.
I think I may have to check that one out.
It's impossible to find. It came up once, and that was the one time super duper broke. And I went, no. But the guy who owns it, I made friends with, and he's like, yeah, my cold dead hands, but if I do die, you're getting it. So I just have to wait for a fella to die.
I think we have a better chance seeing it appear on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes, you absolutely. Somebody could make it before I will get one.
That's right. But that's cool. That's a very interesting answer, and you're definitely surprising me with your answers today because we did not go over this ahead of time.
This is specificity, man. I'm all about specificity. Many people will like a character and collect and collect and collect and collect. I will go, no, I didn't like that particular sculpt. I don't want to. Wait, it's Hedorah though. No, I don't like it. Boop.
Interesting.
So yeah.
Interesting. So let's continue on with let's talk about some of your favorite resources that you go to buy and acquire these awesome
Again,
figures.
these secrets you wish people to tell, because what if the plebs learn how
Well, just give us one. just give us one.
Oh no, I'll give you some. Obviously, Yahoo Japan. I think it's no secret now. And Manda, of course, which I won't pronounce properly because then you have to look it up what I just said. Pretty much those are the two basics. I'm not going to lie, I do have a few connects in the world of Hedorah who will get me figures at retail, pretty much, which I very much appreciate. That's basically it. Mostly, a lot of what you see is began with Jamie Davies.
Of course.
And Mike Johnson.
Two pillars,
Titans
and pillars of the collecting community.
Exactly. But mostly, yeah, it was buying off of auctions.
Nice.
Gritting teeth.
Nice, yeah.
And again, I hope you don't know what those things are.
Yeah.
I mean, you at home should not look up Yahoo Japan at any time. In fact, forget I said it.
Also, I'm going to throw in a couple too. Sometimes
No.
Mandarake.
No.
Now let me
I say Manda, and then everyone has to go, Manda, who is that?
Let me explain what I'm saying here. Mandarake has definitely been discovered. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
It's not inexpensive. It's actually cheaper when you go to Japan and pick stuff up from the showcase because you save the shipping and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hurt to check it out like at strange hours, because the hours of Japan are different from here. So if you look at things that just get posted late at night, sometimes you'll be able to snag something.
You get the advantage of being an American.
Correct.
In fact, since we're doing it, there is a pro tip I bet no one knows. You have an American account. They have an English website. You search it on the Japanese. You find out what you want, you search it in Japanese, and you look for it in Japanese. Then you put it in your cart and you sign in. Then if you go back to the American site, your cart suddenly has something in it. And many times, depending on the location, the money is less.
That's a nice tip. That's an awesome tip.
I've saved hundreds this way.
That's great. That's great.
Over the years.
That's great. And the funny thing is, you're at a place in your collecting journey where you only need specific things.
Right.
So I don't think divulging this information is going to affect you in any way.
I guess it's not going to hurt me.
No, it's not, because you have pretty much everything. And the things that you want are not cheap.
Yes, they are not cheap.
They're not cheap.
The things that I want are not cheap.
We are going to now talk about some advice that you would give to a new or novice collector.
Easy. I was collecting, as I said earlier in the interview, Gray X Plus. I always say Gray X Plus, I'm sorry, but they are almost all gray. And as you can see behind me, I kind of went a different way. And that's my point. If you could pan over to these clowns for a second. This is where it kind of started. Yep, great stuff. Unbelievably great stuff. No denying it. But one day, there's a fellow named Geo Davis who posted a picture of a Hedorah smokestack CCP. I own that exact one from him now, but I'll tell you this. It blew my mind. And when you're looking at pictures and you start seeing things that are maybe not what you normally would think you like, but there's something tugging. There's a tugging there. What is that? Oh God, do I want to buy a glitter thing? You do. You know what I mean? If you feel, the advice I've always given everyone is, should I sell this? If you just ask me if you should sell this.
That's right. I agree.
If you look at it and you go, oh, I should have bought that. You should have bought that. Because that has the the juju, the what you need to because I mean I don't play with them, but something about all of these things is really basically because of one thing. Folks, I couldn't collect Faberge eggs. I'm going to turn to one page here. Do you see this? Here, let me get a particularly better page. There we go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Do you see that?
Yes.
When I was a young boy, I thought to myself, if only I was rich enough, and I will be rich enough to collect those, damn it. Never did get to. All of this would be one little enameled with maybe 2 jewels.
That's true. True enough,
I
man.
wanted something that was elaborate, huge, made small. made incredibly well made with art.
Yep.
And so that's what I did. So you too will probably look and go, boy, I think I've collected how many Titanosauruses did I buy this month?
Yeah.
No, I mean, nothing wrong with I love Titanosauruses.
No, I get you.
Believe me, because you're talking to the guy who loves specificity. If someone collects only glow-in-the-dark, I love you. Someone collects only Titanosaurus, I love you, so...
Yeah, it's interesting, Andy, that the last two of these that I've done with Coach Steve and with Corey Cromer, another fellow Seattleite, you've all hit the nail on the head when it comes to your collecting advice. When you say that if you see something, buy it. If you get it home and you don't love it,
immediately gone.
You can pass it along to the next person and get something that you do love. But you may love it, and then you'll not have regretted passing it. Passing up on it.
Yeah, when you open a figure and you're immediately like, I don't want to be Marie Kondo over here, but I mean, if you're just sitting here and going, if the very thought of this isn't as cool as I thought it would be is the number one thing you're going to think. Do you know what? It isn't as cool as you thought it would be. Get it out of there. Yep. Somebody else will grab it and go.
I'm going to leave the floor open to you if you want to say anything to your fellow collectors, and then we will wrap things up.
Well, obviously, come over to the Hedorah Fanatics Club if you're into this stuff. And if anything, just make sure to think about not doing bins. I know everyone hates me for this, but if you've got a bin, you're doing it wrong. And that's been Andy Peters with One to Grow On.
Thanks so much, Andy. It was absolutely a pleasure to chat with you in your kaiju cave with 2Ks. And we look forward to finding you in your Facebook groups, which are...
Hedorah, I'm flying around the Godzilla Collectors group. That's my banner right now, which they've kept for a long time. I want to say to everyone who's keeping that up, I love you. It makes me feel good inside. And this has been Andy Peters, collector of Hedorah and other things, signing off.
And this is David from Collect All Monsters, thanking you, as always, for your support and constant feedback, positive feedback.
And please leave comments below and likes.
Absolutely, 100%. All right. Cheers, everybody. Bye, Andy.